When I first came to Dubai, I had no clue how to get a visa. So I'm going to save you all of that hassle and share what I learned the hard way. Hi, I'm Liam Doherty, the Corporate Growth Director of Connect Group, and I've been helping companies, their staff, families and individuals set up in Dubai for over 8 years. Today I'm going to cover the different types of UAE visas, like visas for entrepreneurs, talented specialists, remote workers, real estate investors, and a whole bunch more. But I'll break it down on each visa for you, how much it's going to cost, because hey, we don't all got budget, and a step-by-step process to make it all happen. So why Dubai? Well, 10 years ago I swapped Ireland, which is a small country in Europe, for the UAE. And the first thing that blew me away was the airport. It's super modern, it links straight to a metro, which is out of this world, and it looks like something from a sci-fi movie. Everything is so well kept here. It's clean, it's spotless. Even the metro stations are swanky, more like spaceships than stations. There's cafes and shops inside, and it just felt like a really safe place to live. And get this, Dubai is a tax haven. You earn 500,000 dirhams, it's all yours. No pesky income tax. They only charge you a little inconvenience VAT of 5% and a 9% corporate tax if you're ranking in the big bucks. Company profit of over 375,000. But honestly,
a small price to pay for salvation.
It's scorching in the summer here, but don't worry, most places are only 20 minutes away thanks to the awesome infrastructure of the UAE. They're building 7-lane motorways, so you know that they're planning for the future. Summer is all about indoor fun, but the rest of the year is pretty perfect. Not too cold, not too hot. Think Goldilocks weather for 8 or 9 months. And for every crazy expensive activity you hear about, there are tons of free things to do. Biking, beaches, parks, and even the desert and mountains are just an hour away. Sure, Dubai has a rep for being pricey, but you don't have to be a millionaire to live here. Even on the modest income, you can enjoy a good life.
Oh my God! Wow!
We are often asked what are the unique benefits that the residency visa grants you. There are numerous, but think of the most important ones are the following. Of course, number one must be the aforementioned income tax, or the lack thereof. All the earnings are yours to keep. Companies only pay a 9% tax if they make a ton, over 375 a year. Free zone magic. Set up shop in a free zone and get crazy good deals. We're talking up to 50 years with no corporate tax, VAT or custom fees. The government loves startups. They throw money, grants and finance into businesses in hot areas like tech, construction, healthcare. Plus, there's the Mohammed bin Rashid establishment for SME development. Even foreign investors can get a piece of the pie. The UAE has some really great universities, like Khalifa University, United Arab Emirates University, and the American University of Sharjah, which are all ranked among the best in the world. If you're a foreign student, you'll have to pay tuition fees, and the cost depends on how prestigious the institution is. For example, at Khalifa University, undergraduate degrees start at 16,000 per year, which makes a solid choice for getting a quality education. UAE's healthcare system is seriously impressive. It's ranked super high in the world, like top 20. That means no matter where you live in the UAE, public or private clinics, you're getting awesome medical care. Speaking of private clinics, a bunch of them are JCI approved, which is a fancy way of saying they meet very strict international standards. Like NMC clinics all over Dubai, Sharjah and Abu Dhabi, they've got that JCI stamp of approval, so you know that they're top notch. Owning a place in Dubai, it's totally doable. As a foreigner, you can put some money down, at least 20%, and get a mortgage to cover the rest. The most you can borrow is 10 million, and some banks like First Abu Dhabi Bank have super low rates, starting at 3.9 per year. This makes putting down roots in Dubai way easier, especially if you're planning on staying for a while. If you want to hear more about moving your remote workers or moving your company here through the employer of record system, set up a meeting with me or my team, or click on the link below. We can help you out tomorrow. We'll set up a call, we'll have a coffee, let's take it forward from there. So how do you get a residency visa? Here are 7 options to consider. Yeah, so we had one client came to the UAE, said I'm only going to be here for 6 days. I need everything to be done so that when I leave, I don't have anything else to worry about when I come back out. We love a challenge, so we said, okay, let's do this. We got everything done. He got his visa. He set up a bank account. He found the school that he wanted to put his kids into. He got his car. He even got his Ajari, his tenancy agreement for his apartment. And he left on the 6th day with all of this in place. Usually we would give 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get, as a timeline, to get a visa, to get everything set up. In this case, we wanted to do the challenge. We said, okay, if we actually done everything through VIP if we got the team fully on board to try and make this happen. Can it happen? And the answer is yes. We got the team together, everybody was working on a different element for the client, and in 6 days, what would have been, in my view, when I started in the company, an impossible challenge, was now achievable. So are you thinking of making Dubai your home base? Buying property here isn't just a smart investment, it's also your ticket to residency. All you need is a snag in place you love worth at least 750,000 dirhams. That could be a house, an apartment, a swanky commercial space, or even a property that's still under construction. Can't pay the full amount up front? No sweat. The UAE offers a 2-year residency visa with a 50% down payment on your mortgage. Perfect if you don't have all the cash ready to go, and we'll chat about renewing that visa later, so don't worry about that. Now here's the fun part. The length of your residency visa depends on how much you invest. A minimum investment of 750,000 gets you a 2-year visa, while splurging on a property worth at least 2 million will land you the sweet 10-year visa. And hey, your family can get in the fun too. Spouses, kids, parents. If you're going for the 10-year visa, you can get residency visas along with you. To give you an idea of what's out there, you can find shared or full ownership apartments in fancy hotel complexes in Dubai, starting at 350,000 and going up to 2 million. Or if you prefer something more sporty, there's a 1 or 2 bedroom apartments in hotel complexes in Sport City for around 450,000. When it's time to renew, it's pretty straightforward. You'll need to gather all the necessary documents again, get a quick medical checkup, and submit your application to the Federal Authority of Identity, Citizenship, Customs and Port Security, or ICP. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So you're an entrepreneur with big dreams in the UAE, huh? Snagging a residency visa is the way to go. This little piece of paper not only lets you stay, but also opens up a world of opportunities to grow your business in this vibrant nation. So what's the magic formula? Well, entrepreneurs and investors can secure a UAE residency visa for 7 or up to 10 years by making a business investment. You'll need a minimum investment of 1 million dirhams to get started. To qualify for a 5-year visa, you'll need to establish a company with at least 500,000 invested. But if you're thinking long term and want the 10-year visa, there are several paths to choose from. You can invest 2 million in a new or existing company, join a startup incubator with a brilliant idea approved by the Ministry of Economy, that owns a company ranked at least 1 million, or showcase your business prowess by selling your company for a cool 7 million dirhams. And don't worry about leaving your family behind. Your spouse and unmarried children, sons under 25 and daughters of any age, can also join you on this exciting journey. To seal the deal and get that golden visa, you'll need some essential documents. They are a business registration certificate, a copy of your company trade license, an establishment card, that's your company immigration card, a bank letter confirming your investment, a passport copy, a colour photo, and a proof of medical insurance and a medical examination certificate. Remember, when it's time to renew your visa, just make sure you've still got everything in order. Meet all the requirements and you're all set to continue building your dream in the UAE. Getting the UAE residency visa as an entrepreneur is a great idea if you want to start or grow your business in the UAE. Alright folks, let's talk about getting a residency visa in the UAE if you've landed a sweet job here. Good news is it's pretty straightforward, especially if you've got a long-term contract with a UAE company. Here's the deal. So if you're signing on for a long haul with a local company, they'll take care of all your visa and work permit costs for you. Plus, they'll also sort out your health insurance, medical tests, which are a must for any visa type. The residency visa usually lines up with the length of your work contract, so it's typically about 2 years. But if you're coming in with a fancy degree, there's a little extra step. Your bachelor's degree needs to be verified by the UAE Embassy in your home country and by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, otherwise known as MOFA. Bring your family along, no problem.
Family!
If you're the main applicant, you're earning at least 4,000. You can bring your spouse, sons under 21 who are studying at university, and your unmarried daughters. But if you're making over 20,000 dirhams, you can also bring your parents along. For the ladies working in the UAE, the rules are a bit different. You can bring your spouse and kids, but not your parents. You'll need to be earning at least 10,000 per month and working in healthcare, education or science, or get special permission from the Department of Naturalization and Residency in Dubai, DNRD. Since the company is sponsoring your visa, they'll handle the application process for you. This is because visas are tied to the company quotas, so they need to make sure that everything is in order. But to be prepared, here's what documents you're gonna need. First, your work contract is key. Don't forget a passport size color photo with a white background. A copy of your passport is a must-have too. And if you have a fancy degree, bring a notarized copy of your diploma. Renewing your visa is easy too. Just extend your work contract and get your documents together again. Your new visa will then match the length of your updated contract. Yeah, so one time we had this client come in and he said he wanted to obtain a residency visa for a specialist talent. You know, we hadn't seen this happen very often because it needs to be something out of this world. He said, yeah, I think I will be qualified. So we asked for his documents, we asked to send across any articles that he was in or anything that he's done. And yeah, essentially he was involved in sending the first person to space for the UAE. He's one of the main people that are involved, so it was literally rocket science that he was doing. Yeah, so one time we had a request actually come through for special talent, looking to obtain a residency visa. It was a first for us. We were a little bit apprehensive because we hadn't done it. We asked for some documents, we asked them to share some documents. Then we seen that, yeah, the person was essentially responsible for the UAE's first rocket mission. Which is very cool, and he of course obtained that residency visa. It was literally
rocket science.
Doesn't just work if you're a spaceman, so I'll talk about how you can get a UAE residency visa if you think you're part of the talented crew. So think scientists, doctors, teachers, artists, athletes, you name it. There's a special visa just for you guys, but you have to jump through a few hoops to get it. First things first, this visa comes with a price tag, and it varies depending on your profession and where you're applying in the UAE. For example, if you're an artist looking to make Dubai your home base, it'll cost you around 3,860 dirhams. The good news is this visa is valid for a whopping 10 years. Plus, you can bring your parents, kids, spouse along for the ride, so the whole family can enjoy the UAE lifestyle. Now, here's the catch. You'll need to meet some specific requirements set by the UAE government. If you're a scientist, you'll need accreditation from the Emirates Scientist Council or the Mohammed bin Rashid Medal for Scientific Excellence. Artists need to get approval from the Department of Culture and Tourism, while investors need to secure a patent from the UAE Ministry of Economy. When it's time to renew your visa, just make sure you've still got all your paperwork in order, meet the program's conditions, and then you're good to go for another 10 years.
Nice.
Hey freelancers and remote workers, you've ever dreamed of living and working in the sunny UAE while still doing your thing for your foreign company or being your own boss? Well, good news, the UAE offers a residency visa just for you guys. It's called the Green Visa, and the best part, you can sponsor yourself. Here's the scoop. First, you're not going to need to get a license of one of the UAE's free zones. These are special economic areas with unique benefits and regulations, so pick a free zone that fits your profession. For instance, if you're an IT whiz, Dubai Internet City is your jam. Photographers and graphic designers might prefer Dubai Media City. Once you've chosen your free zone, just hop onto your website and apply for a license. The fee depends on your profession and age, but it's generally pretty affordable. For example, in the Ajman free zone, fees start at around 6,000 per year. And if you're between 20 and 30, you can snag a license for even less, about 5,000. Obviously, the more uncommon the free zone, the cheaper the price. So for example, Ajman, it's an outside free zone, and the price is cheaper. As we say, if you want to have your license in the area where all of your competitors or your area of expertise is, then you might have to pay a lot more. Also, the catch is, this is the starting price. Make sure that you ask the free zone, or you ask the body what's going to be the renewal price. That's the most important thing, because a lot of companies set up and think it's going to be 5,000, 6,000 a year. Then they find out that on year 2 it's actually going to be 10,000, 15,000. So get this checked when you're getting your license. Your remote worker visa will be good for 1 year. When it expires, you'll need to get your paperwork together again and pay the license fee to renew it. Just a heads up though, if you leave the UAE for more than 6 months, your visa will be cancelled. Don't forget about your loved ones. If you get the green visa, you can also bring your parents, spouse and children with you and be their sponsor. It's a family affair. To get your freelancer Dubai residency, you're going to need to collect some things. First, your passport, valid for at least 6 months. You'll also need medical insurance to cover you while you're in the UAE. Proof of employment or proof that you own a company is another requirement. They'll also want to see your recent bank statements, covering at least 3 months. Don't forget your shiny new freelance license. That's what this whole thing is about. If you already have a valid visa, bring a copy of that too. They'll also ask for a copy of your CV and a colour passport size photo with a white background. So, there you have it. With a bit of effort and the right documents, you could be working from a beachside cafe in Dubai before you even know it. Until the UAE brought in the retiree visa, we had a lot of clients at that age of 64, 65 asking the question of what happens after 65. And unfortunately, until they brought in the retiree visa, we had no option but to tell them that your tenure here in the UAE is done and there's no visa to suit you. So thankfully they brought in the retiree visa, because we had a lot of clients at that age, as I say, that we're able now to say, come back to the UAE, we can get you a retiree visa and you're continue to work and live your dream here. Yeah, so when you before the retiree visa was introduced, people over 65 could not work in the UAE. Essentially, it was a retirement age and you couldn't get an employment visa to suit somebody over 65. Also, from a medical insurance perspective, some medical insurance companies were refusing to insure people over 65. Thankfully, now that the retirement visa is introduced, we can tell a lot of our clients that unfortunately we couldn't help a couple of years ago. We can tell them now that there is a retirement visa for them to come continue to live here, not to work here, but to live here and retire in the UAE. Expats can actually continue working until they're 65 if their employers get the necessary permits. But just keep in mind that once you hit around 60, you're going to need to apply for the work permits through the Ministry of Human Resources. Now that bit of housekeeping out of the way, let's get back to the awesome Retire in Dubai program and how you can turn your retirement dreams into reality. Here's the deal. To qualify for this sweet retirement visa, you need to show that you're financially secure. There's 3 ways to do this. Option 1. Prove you're raking in a hefty monthly pension of at least 15,000 AD. That way, you'll know that you can comfortably cover your living expenses in the UAE. Option 2. Show that you've got a tidy sum of 1 million tucked away safely in a deposit for at least 3 years. This proves that you've got the resources to enjoy your retirement without worry. And option 3. Own a property worth over 1 million. This shows that you've made smart investments and have a valuable asset to back you up in the golden years. Also take into account on this option 3 that maybe it is something when you're hitting 55, 60 to take into account that if I buy a property, I could potentially stay here and live in Dubai. A lot of people don't think of that, and then when they hit 65, they start asking questions of how I can stay. If you're over 55 and meet one of these conditions, you're in. This 5-year visa is valid, and the best part is that your spouse and children under 18 can join you on this adventure. To get the ball rolling, you'll need some paperwork, like a copy of your passport, retirement certificate, bank statements, and proof of your pension amount. And when it's time to renew your visa, just show that you still meet the requirements and you're all set to continue enjoying your retirement in the UAE. Hey students, dreaming of studying in the UAE? Good news, if you're over 18 and you have your sights set on a university here, you can snag a student visa as long as the university is on the official list of accredited institutions. The student visa typically lasts for about a year, but if you're a straight A student, you might be in for a treat. With stellar grades, you could qualify for a long-term residency visa for 5 to 10 years. It's like a reward for just being a brainiac. Now you don't need to be fluent in Arabic to study here, but you'll need to prove your English language skills. Most universities require you to pass an English language exam like the IELTS, TOEFL, or the MSAT. Each university has its own list of required documents for admission, so check their website for specifics. But generally you'll need things like an application form, a notarized copy of your high school diploma translated into Arabic, a passport copy, a copy of your birth certificate, a letter from the UAE Ministry of Education confirming your diploma's equivalence, a passport size photo, and that all-important language certificate. Don't be worrying about renewing your visa every year. As long as you're still enrolled and hitting the books, your visa will be renewed annually. So what are you waiting for? Start packing your bags and get ready for your awesome academic adventure in the UAE. Alright guys, you've got your residency visa, congrats. Now what's next? First things first, you need to get your Emirates ID. Think of it as your UAE identity card. It's your official proof of identity and residency, and you'll need it for all sorts of things, like getting a SIM card, accessing government services, and even breezing through the airport security. The good news is that getting one is a
piece of cake.
If you're a foreign resident, you can apply online through the Federal Authority for Identity and Citizenship. After completing the online steps, just head to the ICP Centre to give your fingerprints and pay a small fee. Your Emirates ID will be valid for the same duration as your residency visa, so you can renew them both together. Here's a heads up for those who might be spending extended time outside the UAE. In 2023, new rules came into play for re-entry permits if your visa expires because you've been out of the country for over 6 months. You'll need to apply for a re-entry permit from outside the UAE, have a valid reason for being away for that long, and pay a small fine for each 30 days you've been gone. But once you're approved, you have 30 days to return to the UAE. These rules are super important for folks who need to stay away for a while but still want to keep the residency status. And finally, if you ever need to cancel your UAE residency visa, the person who sponsored your visa, so if it's your employer, your spouse, your parent, or even yourself, will need to handle that process. They'll need to submit some documents and cancel any work-related permits before the visa itself can be cancelled. But it's a necessary step if you decide to move on. Okay, now that we've sorted out your visa process, the next question might be, how much does it cost to live in Dubai? The UAE offers a diverse range of living costs, from the luxury of Dubai to the affordability of Sharjah. We break down everything you need to know about the cost of living in different cities. It could be from housing, transportation, food, entertainment, so watch your video to discover which city fits your budget and your lifestyle.